WAAY 31 First News at 11 in high definition.
Taking a look at some flurries from earlier today. This is atop Montesano Mountain where we are located here at the WAAY 31 First News studio. So obviously some white stuff is falling. Now how much of it's actually sticking and where is a question for meteorologist Ari Sarsalari. So we're going to check in with him. Good morning. I am Meredith Wood. Thanks for joining us for WAAY 31 First News at 11. So obviously a lot of weather going on. We've actually had schools that were starting in session. Now they've closed. Kids have gone home for the day. So lots of kind of developing stuff as this weather moves through. Yeah,
it's been interesting to watch the stuff come through. Of course, we had a lot of small, dry flakes flying around here in Huntsville and places out to the west of Huntsville as well. Really wasn't a problem. It just looked pretty cool to see some of that snow kind of blowing around on the roads. But as you get into northeast Alabama, there's actually a little bit more moisture in the air out there. We talked about this morning, how you guys in northeast Alabama will have a little bit more of an open door to some of that Gulf moisture. You're a little bit closer to where they're getting the more significant snow near Atlanta, down toward the south there as well. And we've seen a little bit of sticking out there toward parts of DeKalb County, Jackson County, and Marshall County. Not a huge amount of snow. Haven't seen any reports over an inch. It's basically been anywhere from 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. But even so, that can make roads a little bit on the slick side. So please just use common sense here. If there is snow sticking to the roads, your car is not going to work like it usually does. So you have to take it easy in those situations. Here's a look at Fife over in DeKalb County. This is from Dominic Holderfield over at the Jacks there. And you can see on the road that snow definitely was sticking, and certainly to some of the grassy surfaces there as well. It's still very cold. The wind chills are in the single digits across the board. Fort Payne at 12. That's the one spot where it's not too bad. But Scottsboro, Arab, Coleman, all right around 5 to 7 degrees, what it feels like. Only 3 in Huntsville for that wind chill. Show you some more pictures of some of that snow. We'll talk about when it's going to end and when it's finally going to warm up. Remember, average highs this time of year, low 50s. That's kind of a dream, isn't it? Be back with a full forecast in just a couple minutes. Meredith?
All right, thanks very much, Ari. Despite plans to open today, many students are sitting at home after school systems decided to close down for the day. Most of that has already happened and students are back home, but they do plan to get them back into the classroom tomorrow. Madison County and Limestone County schools will start 2 hours later tomorrow. Marshall County, Guntersville City, and Scottsboro City will be on a 3-hour delay Wednesday. And this is just a short list of some of the delays, and you can get a complete list on the account on our website. We will continue to update those as more delays roll in. Warming shelters are also open across the area. We have that list on our website as well. Huntsville International Airport is canceling flights due to winter weather moving through the southeast. Several departing flights to Houston, Atlanta, and Charlotte will not take off. Others are delayed. If you're flying today, you are encouraged to check your flight status online before leaving for the airport at flyhuntsville.com. Roads across the valley are starting to cause some problems for drivers. WAAY 31's Tim Reed has been out this morning checking the conditions and joins us now on the phone with more. Tim.
Hey there, Meredith. I'm here in Jackson County where the sheriff is advising motorists not to travel on secondary roads. Several roads have been closed because they're slick and very icy. Around 10 this morning, a woman lost control of her car on Highway 72 in Woodville and hit an 18-wheeler. Police tell us no one was injured in that wreck. The sheriff has given us a list of roads that have been closed. I'll go down those. County Road 38 has been reported as extremely dangerous to travel on. County Road 17 at Skyline and also County Road 77 going up the mountain to Swearingen have been reported to be very treacherous. Also, Highway 117 is closed and traffic there is backed up. And again, authorities are advising motorists not to travel the roadways right now. Also, Highway 65 in Jackson County has been shut down. And over in Marshall County, officials at the Emergency Management Agency tell us secondary roads there are also slick and icy in different areas around the county. And officials there are also asking folks not to drive on the roads. If you have to, be extremely careful, take it slow. We'll have much more tonight at 5, but for now, I'm Tim Reed reporting live in Jackson County. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Tim. Be safe out there. Meanwhile, the cold temperatures also brought winter weather to South Alabama, and it is causing problems. Interstate 65 interchange in Montgomery is closed, as well as I-85 southbound. If you happen to be traveling towards that area, you will need to detour around those interstates. Many people are using more propane to heat their homes. Unfortunately, Alabama is in a state of emergency because of a propane shortage. And police say people are stealing propane tanks across the state. Governor Robert Bentley says he's doing everything he can to make sure propane gets to those who need it.
With that state of emergency, we have lifted all the rules and regulations, the rules and regulations related to the hauling of the substance, And so we're trying to make sure that people are able to get the propane that they need.
The brutal cold in the forecast brings with it concern for the elderly and people who can't afford to heat their homes. Project Share is a program designed to help the elderly and people with disabilities by assisting them with their utility bills. Right now, program organizers are worried they will run out of money as donations are low and bills are high. Huntsville Utilities customers can participate in Project Share by going online and adding $1, $2, or $5 to their monthly bill towards the program.
They can find it in their hearts to donate because I'm afraid, you know, if the money gets so close and I run out, there's going to be elderly people with no utilities.
Last year, Project Share helped 900 families pay their utility bills. President Obama will deliver his State of the Union address tonight. The commander-in-chief is still dealing with low approval ratings since the rollout of the Affordable Care Act. He is expected to address some key issues and ask Congress to come together. ABC's Mary Bruce reports from Washington.
The President of the United States.
President Obama will walk into the House chamber tonight to try and get his agenda back on track. Aides say he will use his State of the Union speech to jumpstart his plan to boost the middle class, though many of the themes will be familiar. It's a make-or-break moment after what was arguably the worst year of his presidency.
That's on me.
Speaking to a sharply divided Congress, the president will tell lawmakers he plans to act with or without them.
Where I can act on my own without Congress, I'm going to do so.
Showing off his executive power, he will announce he's raising the minimum wage for new federal contract workers. But to make progress on his big-ticket items, the president will need Congress's help. House Speaker John Boehner today warned the president will run into a brick wall if he tries to go it alone.
We're going to watch very closely because there's a Constitution that we all take an oath to, including him.
The president will also seek to inspire the nation. Sitting with the First Lady will be a remarkable group of Americans that underscore the president's message, including a survivor of the Boston Marathon bombing and the first openly gay NBA player. The speech is a chance for the president to turn the page after the botched healthcare rollout, but he faces an uphill battle. According to the latest ABC News Washington Post poll, just 37% believe the president has the ability to make the right decisions for the country. The president will take his message on the road first thing tomorrow morning, selling his agenda directly to the public with stops in nearby Maryland, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, and Nashville. Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Voting locations will change for the next election in Decatur. The city council voted 3-1 to accept changes to 7 voting locations. The 20 voting precincts are now 15, and all 4 city schools were removed, so thousands of voters will vote at a different location starting in June.
This is the result of that, is making the precincts a little more sensible, maintain the contiguous aspect of them.
The city will send affected voters their new voting locations in the mail. A public hearing today could determine whether Huntsville joins a growing list of cities across the country that allow backyard chicken coops. The urban chicken proposal began last summer with a petition from members of the Huntsville Hen Alliance wanting up to 3 backyard hens for producing eggs. Some argue chickens are too noisy and smelly for close-quarter city living. The Huntsville Planning Commission will vote on the issue at tonight's meeting. It starts at 5 p.m. on the ground floor of City Hall. The Rocket City is topping yet another list. The Progressive Policy Institute ranked Huntsville number 4 out of the top 25 high-tech spots in America. The organization says the number of high-paying tech jobs in the area has increased 25% since 2007, creating a strong economic growth. Just a few weeks ago, Techie.com named Huntsville one of the most promising tech hubs to watch. It also dubbed the Rocket City as an up-and-coming Silicon Valley. Coming up on WAAY 31 First News at 11, your hands, elbow, or is it a simple tissue? What's the best way to keep germs from spreading when you sneeze? That question was put to the test, and we will show you the results straight ahead. And meteorologist Ari Sarsolari will take a look at this very cold, maybe a little bit snowy forecast when we come back. Stay with us.